In this video, I'm going to show you 10 tricks to manage your trades using Ripster's EMA Clouds system. I'm Aubrey Trades. And before we get started, we got to show some love to the man himself, Ripster47, creator of the EMA Clouds system. And before we get into the charts, I got to say these are just some rules that I've found to work for me. Plenty of ways to make these EMA Clouds work, so feel free to tweak things, see what works for you. Now with that said, let's get into the charts. I'm primarily focused on the SPY right now. Quick overview of the clouds I'll give you. I have another video I'll link to if you want more info, but the values I use for these are 513 for the top cloud, 3550 for the next one down, and this is going to be the most important one, by the way. The next level is 7289, and the level underneath that is 18200. All right, I'll have a link to these clouds in the description below so you can download them and follow along if you so choose. Now, how am I using these to trade the SPY? Well, first things first, I use multiple time frames, not just one. My primary intraday time frame is this 10-minute chart that you can see right here, but the bulk of decisions that I make are going to be based off of this 1 hour chart, okay? So I start by drawing a shaded box of the 1 hour 3550 EMA cloud. That way I know where it is on the 10-minute chart, so I don't have to scroll back and forth all the time, right? And then I'll use the 10-minute chart for my entry decisions. The key for me, I only play around the 3550. That's it. I don't play if something's trending a bunch and I didn't catch the 3550 move like here, I'm not gonna touch it. I only trade around the 3550. So once something gets into it, how do I make my decisions? Well, one rule I have is I only allow myself to bet in the direction of the 1 hour trend. That means 1 hour trend is bullish, right? Because price is above the 3550 EMA. I'm only letting myself make bullish bets. So if the 10-minute pulls into its 3550 cloud, I am looking for a bounce opportunity with calls. How do I know when to execute? Well, I'll take my position as we get into this zone, and then I force myself to wait at least one candle. Give myself at least one candle to see if the idea is correct, if a bounce is going to happen or not. And sometimes you get chopped out. This happened to me this morning, right? Price touched the 10-minute. I waited one candle, we closed below. Now, sometimes you get this sort of recovery move. Sometimes you can just get chopped around a bunch. So it being the morning, I decided, you know what? Candle closed below, I'm gonna drop the position. I'm just gonna take the loss and I'm gonna wait for the afternoon move, because I'll show you a little bit of what can happen is you can get chopped around. Like here in this day, right here is almost an hour of just getting chopped around. You know, candle closes below, candle closes above, candle closes below, candle closes above, all within that first hour of the day. So I rather just avoid it. My favorite thing is to take bounces off of the 1 hour EMA, which you see here. That worked out pretty well. Or, you know, retests into end of day. Here's the day we chopped around that first hour, right? So I just try to avoid it. And then, you know, breakout, pull back. This worked a little bit for you. But my favorite window right now is this 2 p.m. window, right? 3550 test after the 2 p.m. window, and then you closed at high a day. Much, much cleaner than trying to kind of get involved in some of that sort of nastiness. Here's a midday zone where this was a chop on the 1 hour chart. If I zoom out here, I track all of the points of interest, right? So here was a chop that I couldn't be mad about, but it happened midday, so like I shouldn't have been playing this anyway, right? Hour candle closed below, instant recover, closed high a day. That kind of leads me into my next tip, which is I am personally avoiding zombie hours, which is, you know, around this 8:30-ish to 11 a.m. These are Pacific times, right? So 9, 10, 11:30 to 2 p.m. Eastern. You know, I'm usually looking to avoid. There's not a whole lot of good stuff that happens here. Here's another thing. 2 p.m. Eastern, boom, retest of the 3550, and you had a nice trade opportunity there. Other examples where you gave up the 35.50 midday. Where's that 2 p.m. window? Look at this. retest of the 35.50, you had a nice trade within 3 candles. All right, so we'll do a quick review, right? So, you know, I'm only trading based off of the 1 hour and 10-minute charts, okay? I only trade in the direction of the 1 hour trend. That means right now, I'm only taking calls. And right now we're sitting on our hands because we're going into that close to midday action. We had some bit of a chop here, and I just don't want to deal with it. But if we have some sort of fail all the way down into this 455, 454 zone, then I'm interested in taking those calls for a reverse. Otherwise, I'm just gonna wait it out. If we trend upward, fine. But if we retest the 10-minute 35.50, I will take calls. Some ideas on how I actually execute and manage the trade. Well, I told you a little bit of one, which is I force myself to wait at least 1 candle after entering the trade. And in this case, I got chopped out. But let's say we're over here, right? Boom, here's that 11, here's that 2 p.m. window. Okay, cool, pull back. You got the 35.50, you risk the next candle closing below, right? Boom, oh, we're right, cool. Now I tried to give myself 3 candles. If the thing works, give it 3 candles. 1, 2, 3, look at that. In this case, there was more to go. But a lot of times what happens is, oh, I'm right, and then I'll kind of get out somewhere here. You know, I won't actually let it run to its potential, which is something I'm working on, right? So if I don't get stopped out in 1 candle, I get myself to wait 3. This is my own personal rule so that I can get better at holding. Maybe you're better at holding than I am, and that's no problem for you. Maybe you're worse at holding than I am, and you don't like the strategy at all, in which case, that's fine. I'm just here to share how I'm doing it. Also, quick note to be aware of your support and resistance lines. You know, when I say about the 3 candle rule, it's not just blind. I mean, if you're grabbing something like this and your 3 candles is going up into this previous high, like scale out of the trade. Don't just wait blindly, you know? So you got to be aware of where your support and resistance lines are on the chart, okay? I just wanted to make sure that did not get lost in this video. So there we go. Recap, I'm only betting in the direction of the 1 hour trend. I'm only taking positions around the 35.50 EMA, whether it's near the 10-minute 35.50 or the 1 hour 35.50. I wait at least 1 candle to close after I am in the trade. And if that first candle doesn't stop me out, then my goal is to stay in the trade for at least 3 candles. Give myself an opportunity to take the big chunk of those moves, okay? And then the last thing I'm gonna leave you with is using the volatility index, or VIX, to help you navigate ETFs, large caps, mega caps, because they tend to move in sympathy with each other, right? Let's get into this 10-minute chart on SPY, and then you can see on the VIX here, look how they're inverted, right? SPY goes down, comes back up, VIX goes up, comes back down. So I'm looking at the same stuff, right? So 10-minute VIX, you know, here we are coming up into that 35.50 cloud resistance. Okay, I'm gonna watch, see how this goes. Does the candle close above the 35.50 cloud on the VIX? No. Oh, we rejected here. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe this helps give you conviction for this long back to VWAP. Now, personally, for me, I'm looking at VIX here, and I'm looking at this massive ascending trend line on the weekly chart. I don't know. I'm just kind of wary that we're going to get continued downside. We could. It depends. But anything can happen, right? So I'm just keeping it on watch. So you can kind of see we're hovering, we're playing around it here. The big tell is going to be the break underneath this 1870, but that's sort of the level. Point being, you can use the VIX to help you navigate some of these moves in the large caps, right? And hint, I'm also using the 10-minute here, but here in this corner, I've got the 1 hour VIX pulled up. That's because sometimes the 10-minute VIX can make you think certain things, like you're going to get a reversal here. Like, look at this. Oh, cool, VIX reversal, boom. But if you really just look at it in the context of the 1 hour, which is here in this corner, you could see, oh, the 1 hour, it literally did not cross the 1 hour at 35.50, right? So I give myself that, like, wait for the hour candle to close, because a lot of times you'll get sudden spikes like that and they'll just fail. So important to keep track of both time frames for the VIX as well. Personally, I'm in trader rehab right now, so my goal is to literally not do anything else other than trade based off of this system and trade based off of the SPY. So 35.50 on the 10-minute or the 1 hour, betting in the direction of the 1 hour, taking positions around these EMA things, using the VIX to help guide those decisions. And then we went over the candles and how I'm using them for trade management, waiting at least one 10-minute candle to close to see if I'm right. And if I'm still right after that, giving it at least 2 to 3 candles. That means the trade is going for 30 to 40 minutes overall, right? That's a long time to sit. Anyway, that about does it. If you want to learn more about EMA Clouds, I got another video right here you can check out and learn more. Now, if you got value out of this video, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, and let me know in the comments down below what other types of content you want to see from this channel.